Hello, Wastelanders and Vault Dwellers. Matt and Phil here with a quick update on Appalachia and its future.
First, we want to thank you all for listening and participating in our show. As of this episode, we have just passed 10,000 downloads across all of the platforms that Appalachia is hosted on. To say that we are humbled would be an understatement, and there's more to come.
And while we did take a short break, we assure you that our next episode is in the works. However, with 8 episodes and 2 minisodes totaling over 10 hours of story, we thought that this could be a good time to offer a recap of what's happened so far, along with a little more about the characters and their lore.
With any luck, this should help those who want to catch up with the story to have a more compact way to do so. We've decided to do this every so often, to offer an entry point to new listeners, and as a reminder for those who have been following along the whole time.
Seriously, thank you all from the bottom of our hearts. This show has been a labor of love for us, and it would be nothing without our amazingly talented cast and all of you wonderful people who keep coming back to hear about Xander, Rabbit, and the rest of the gang.
So, sit back and listen as our 76ers reminisce about life in the vault and about what's happened so far over the course of Appalachia, a Fallout 76 story. And once again, thank you all for listening. All right, let's see. No, that's not it. That's a hammer. That's... What is this? Why is this gooey? Yeah, gross. Here we go. Okay, that should do it. Begin recording. So, it's been a while since I've recorded anything on one of these holotapes, but after discussing it with the others, we all figured we'd make some once in a while. After all, we find them scattered about here and there, and sometimes the people who recorded them have interesting stories to tell. And sometimes it's a lot of yelling and screaming and dying. This isn't one of those times. I figured I'd just record something while working on a few orders. So come in?
Hello? The sign outside said open, but there isn't anyone upstairs. Can I come down?
Oh, sure. I was getting started on some repair orders. I guess I forgot to turn off the open sign.
I could come back later.
Oh, no, it's good. Come on down.
You're awful quick to invite a total stranger into the lower part of your camp. How do you know I'm not some random psychopath looking to kill you and steal your stuff?
You're wearing a 5-0 New Responders uniform, and I've seen you before when I've dropped off orders at your HQ.
Fair enough. This is quite the setup you got here. I've been meaning to stop by and check it out.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, there's an armor workstation over there in the corner, a weapons workbench beside that, and... Oh, you don't mind if I have a holotip recording, do you?
What? No, it's fine, but what are you recording?
My friends and I talked about it recently and decided to keep some records of things that we've encountered, how we're coming along since Reclamation Day, and stuff like that.
So, like a journal for someone to stumble upon someday.
Something like that.
I've never done anything like that. Probably should, though.
You want to be part of this one?
Are you sure?
Yeah. I mean, it'd be better than me talking to myself.
Aren't most holotapes people talking to themselves?
Okay, yeah.
But sure, what are you wanting to, journal?
I had thought to just talk about some recent things that have happened to me, but since you've never done one of these, maybe we can go farther back than that. Maybe we can get to know each other a bit.
Oh, where should we start?
Well, since you're not sure, I'll start with an introduction while I work on this weapon order. I'll cover more of who I was back in the vault, and you can too if you want. My name is Alexander Devon Nash. Mostly go by Xander or Nash. I'm really good with either.
Okay, Nash it is.
Okay. But what do I call you?
Danny. Danny Everett Miller.
Sounds good. Danny it is. I turned 23 years old a short bit after we left Vault 76, and I think I still am.
It's hard to tell. Seasons are all messed up out here.
Yeah, tell me about it. I don't really know where summer ends and winter begins out here anymore. My life in the Vault was pretty normal, I think. Vault Tech had us all participating in activities and classes to facilitate growth, development, and to teach us how to work together and sometimes compete. You know, character building stuff.
God, I hated some of those classes. And that goat exam? Ugh.
Oh, don't get me started on the goat. It said I'd be good at animal husbandry.
I absolutely cannot see you keeping livestock in this place. Or basically anywhere out here. Mine pegged me as a hairdresser. A hairdresser!
I mean, are you any good at it?
Okay, maybe it wasn't that off base.
Well, at least it worked for someone. When I was little, I met Gina Rhodes and Bryce Sanders, and we got along well. There were times when Bryce and I would get into arguments over stupid things, sometimes legitimate things, and times where we actually fought. With our fists.
Sounds about like life in the vault.
Yep. While growing up, I took interest in machines and computers. My dad is a really good handyman and was an auto mechanic before going into the vault. My mom worked for General Atomics, and I think it was her work that gained her and my dad entry into the vault. I learned a lot from them. What about you?
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt.
It's fine. It would sound better as a discussion than a one-sided monologue.
That's fair. Let's see. My dad was a firefighter, and my mom is some kind of researcher or something. She was always doing sciencey stuff in the vault. Never really knew what, and didn't care to ask.
Hey, did you find your parents after Reclamation Day?
My mom? Yeah, once. My old man passed away in the vault.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. He choked on mashed potatoes.
Huh. Okay. So, you said you found your mom once. You didn't keep in touch?
She fell in with those aristocrats at the White Spring Resort, and I don't really talk to her.
Oh, those people.
You're familiar.
Unfortunately. But I'll be getting to that soon. As I grew up, I began working a lot on machines and repairing some of the vault robots whenever they, started doing things they shouldn't have been doing.
Wait a minute. Wait! You're that guy who got shot in the ass by a...
Yeah, shot in the ass by a Miss Nanny's baby bottle. Does everyone know about that?
Sorry. Bryce mentioned it.
I'm gonna have to have a talk with him about that. I forgot you two work together.
He's honestly the reason I came here. He recommended your work.
But yeah, ass blasted by a baby bottle. Where was I? Oh yeah. I then started studying Pip-Boys and how they worked, which gave me a lot of insight into them that the average user doesn't have. So what about you? What was life like for you back in the vault?
Not the best. I didn't really run with the best crowd back in there. Fell in with a handful of others and we got up to a lot of shit.
It seemed like every level had a group like that.
Yeah, probably. Mine was led by a guy named Eddie. Not sure if you know...
Eddie Brooks?
Oh. Yeah. So you do know him.
That fucking asshole.
Yeah. He was kind of a dick. I was too, if I'm honest. We got into all sorts of trouble and drove the security team up the wall sometimes. That's kind of why I decided to get in the 5-0, do some penance.
Well, I'll bet Security Chief Vince and his crew loved you.
They wanted to knock our teeth in, and fair play, we deserved it.
Well, what changed? I mean, Eddie Brooks became an absolute monster, but you joined the 5-0.
Reclamation Day. And seeing what shit was like up here on the surface. Nothing like the videos.
Oh, yeah. Reclamation Day changed a lot of our plans real quick. My friends and I all had our own plans. Gina wanted to create a shop or trading post. Bryce wanted to join the army if it was still around. And I wanted to start, this workshop.
Well, it looks like all three of you've kind of accomplished what you wanted. You have this shop. I saw Gina's sign upstairs where she sells stuff out of here, I think. And Bryce is at least with the new responders. Probably the closest thing we'll get to an army.
Yeah. When you put it that way, it does kind of sound like we've gotten what we've wanted. It was a lot of hell getting here, though. My first couple of weeks out were rough. Running from place to place, gathering resources, hiding where I could, and setting up a sheet metal camp wherever I could find that didn't draw attention.
Sounds about like what most of us did at first.
I think some were just better at it than others. People from the vault started getting pretty violent after a while, so I just kind of stayed out of sight until all of that blew over.
I don't remember much of the first few weeks, honestly. Just a lot of scrambling to get by and being punched to death by another vault dweller. Landed in that fucking weird shop.
Ooh, yeah. It took me a while before I learned about that shop. But once things settled down a bit, I took on a small job with the aristocrats at the White Spring. Someone there knew that I was a Pip-Boy nut back in the vault and offered me a pretty good sum of caps to make some adjustments to their Pip-Boys. I wasn't particularly proud of it when I found out what they wanted it for and...
Oh shit, that was you?
Yeah, but... just... yeah, let's just move on from that, please. By then, I still hadn't found anyone I knew, but I wanted to get started on the shop. That led me to asking around a bit and learning where I might find some bags of cement to lay the foundations and...
Isn't it just super weird that we can carry so much shit without it weighing us down? And then, seemingly out of nowhere, picking up a hairbrush will suddenly be really heavy.
Oh yeah, there is a lot of weird shit going on that I don't understand. Like running into a werewolf on Highway 102, and then almost getting sacrificed by some lunatic Mothman cultists near the Lucky Hole Mine.
Oh, those assholes. Yeah, they're hard to deal with. Wait, you survived an encounter with that werewolf thing? I ran into one and woke up with a new outfit after leaving the atomic shop.
I barely survived. I was saved from the werewolf by a random radstag running by, and then from the cultists by a man called Rabbit.
Oh, no shit.
What?
Rabbit? Like Lucas Rabbit?
Oh, yeah. You know him?
Yeah, we, gave him a lot of shit back in the vault. Now that we're out, and I've gotten my head on a bit straighter, I feel kind of bad about it. Like, really bad.
Then why don't you tell him?
Yeah, maybe I will sometime.
I'll leave that up to you. But, after Rabbit saved me, we became exploring partners. He introduced me to this woman named Belladonna Merritt, who started giving us odd jobs for Caps.
Yeah, she gives us info sometimes.
Oh, helping the 5-0?
For a fee, nothing's for free.
Yeah, that's Belle. She directed us to this crazy ghoul named Bob, who wanted us to find a bobblehead at Camden Park. Around that time, I had also run into my friend Gina and her robot companion Archie.
Wait, is that ghoul the one who lives in that house with all the burnt books?
That would be him.
I met him. He threw books at me.
Yeah, I believe it. I absolutely believe it.
Thankfully, since they're burnt to ash, they just puffed into powder when they hit.
But Camden Park is where I first met Eddie Brooks and his girlfriend. Girlfriend? Friend? Fling? Whatever. Trixie Mitchell. Eddie and I wound up racing to find the bobblehead, and when I found it on top of the roller coaster and grabbed it, he tackled me.
Wait, how did you find it way up there? You just run along the tracks looking for it?
Huh? Oh, no, Bob hit me with a perk card that made me start hearing weird springy noises in my head whenever I got close to one.
Oh, Perceptibobble.
Sure. But that's how I found it. Eddie and I fought, and he wound up falling off the coaster and, dying. Well, it wasn't funny at the time.
What? Oh! Did you think you actually...
I thought I killed him. For real. Or rather, I thought that I had a part in his death. I mean, it was an accident. I didn't know at that time that death wasn't permanent for us 76ers.
How did you go that long without ever dying?
Yeah. I didn't learn about any of that until later. I was just really careful up until then. But after that, I was kind of depressed. It was around that time when Rabbit and I ran into a friend of his from the vault, Tim Harold.
Oh, Stim Tim.
Is that really his nickname?
It just rhymes.
Oh. But yeah. Tim took us to some crazy Mothman sermon where I found out that the Mothman was actually real. I shouldn't have been surprised by that point, but I kind of was. But it wasn't a bad night, and I learned that some of the cultists weren't insane.
Yeah, that Solomon guy is pretty harmless. His group isn't ever a problem. They're just kind of nuts.
Yeah. But that night I was shot in the back of the head and killed for the first time. By Eddie. That's when I learned about the atomic shop. I almost got lost in there, but Eddie landed there sometime later, a few aisles away. He accidentally blabbed to me how to get out of there, so I just kind of followed his lead without him knowing I was tailing him.
Pretty good strategy. It took me a while to figure it out. Those shadows were terrifying.
Oh, the, band? I'm not quite sure why they're called that, but...
I don't know. They seem like they're stuck there forever, though. They're always there.
But after that, Rabbit and I worked on the shop a bit more, and things kind of settled down. Until I ran into a sign for a perk card expo being put on by Chad Johnson.
Oh shit, you fell for that too?
Oh, did you?
No, I just heard that a handful of people did, and it got pretty wild. By that time, I'd already joined up with the 5-0, and I was assigned to a few cases that had me miss that
Diathlon.
Yeah, that's it. Bryce told me about it since he was there in the audience. Sounded pretty crazy.
It was fucking ridiculous. But after that, things settled down again for a while. There were a few wild moments here or there. I judged a cooking competition involving Archie and an outhouse.
What?
Don't eat a Braxo. Just saying.
I'd imagine that most people wouldn't. Oh, Eddie might.
Oh, Eddie absolutely would. But sometime after that, my friends all got slaughtered at a bed and breakfast on Halloween. I don't really remember much of what happened after that, except running into Chad Johnson again and Rabbit dying again and
What's wrong? What happened?
I'm not sure. I remember waiting for Rabbit to respawn, and then suddenly I was waking up in my bed. I was pretty out of it.
Too much mystery candy?
No. But anyway. Sometime after that, Gina, Archie, and I journeyed to the old Robco headquarters to try to find some parts and plans. And Archie got shot by the old vault janitor.
Oh, yeah. Janitor Pete. He was kind of an asshole.
Yeah, tell me about it. We took Archie to a bot stop to have his internals rebuilt and got him up and running again. And that's pretty much it. That was a couple days ago.
Sounds like you've been through a lot. But everyone has. We've seen some wild shit with the 5-0. Been following this case involving a bunch of missing purified water, which we hope ends well. We once had a call that ended with us facing down a glowing Wendigo. That tore through a few of us.
Ooh, sorry.
It's okay. They came back, and we killed the Wendigo. Oh, but I was wondering something.
Oh, what is it?
I told you I ran into my mom out here once. What about you? You run into your parents?
Oh, no. Haven't seen any sign of them yet.
They were both alive up to Reclamation Day, though, right?
Yeah.
Well, I hope you run into them soon.
Me too. Oh, sorry, in all this talk, I never asked what you wanted me to work on.
Don't worry about it. This was a nice chat. I wanted you to take a look at this combat shotgun. Was wondering if you could slap some good mods on it.
I mean, I could try. I can't guarantee that it won't make your shells explode, or somehow make your body as hard as steel while you're trying to reload it.
How does that even work?
I honestly have no idea. It just kind of happens. I'm still trying to figure out all these mods.
Well, I trust you.
Good. Then that absolves me of any responsibility for whatever weirdness might happen after I mod this thing.
Okay. Hi, I'm Rabbit.
Now, Rabbit! I thought you said we were talking about everything that happened up to this point.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Okay, starting over. Okay, hi. My name is Lucas. Lucas Asher Dumont.
See? That wasn't so hard.
I've gone by Rabbit for a long time. It's weird. Okay, anyway, I'm 26 years old, so technically I wasn't born in the vault. Barely.
Same here, though my name's Tim. Timothy Danger Harold.
Your middle name is Daniel.
Aw, you're no fun.
And I'm Kit. I'm attached to Rabbit's arm. Constantly. I've seen horrors you can only imagine.
Okay, enough of that.
Wow, you really are no fun. I can't believe you're making me agree with Tim.
So starting at the beginning, kind of, Vault 76. I wasn't born in there. I never knew my dad, and my mom was a nurse in the clinic in our wing. She's who I learned all my chemistry from, and aside from meals and some events here and there, I didn't really socialize a lot. I pretty much had two friends, Tim and Patty Mitchell.
Well, now she's Trixie.
Right. Well, when you're quiet in a vault full of the best and brightest, it feels like you're almost more of a target. People stare at you, try to tell you to come out of your shell, tell you to... You're all one big family. Every family has its black sheep, though, I guess.
Speaking of sheep, I've wondered. Why did they call you Rabbit?
Aw, this is a sad story. Can you believe that Lucas and Eddie Brooks were almost friends?
Friends is a stretch. Him and a couple of his idiot friends invited me to hang out one time, and my mom absolutely insisted that I go make some friends. And I was 10 or 11, maybe? Well, we get to the secluded part of the floor, and one of his buddies pulls out a BB gun.
Things are starting to fall into place left and right. I'm surprised you made it out of there. You wouldn't voluntarily catch me around Eddie Brooks with any kind of weapon. Unless I had one and I get to shoot him. Can I shoot him?
He was a couple years younger than me, and definitely not the monster that he is now.
Yeah, he was just kind of a jerk.
Well, long story short, they had set up some target practice things off in the corner since we weren't really allowed to have guns, and the first time Eddie pulled the trigger, I just bolted out of the room.
That's a BB gun. Oh, the little baby. Oh, the little baby.
I was a kid. I'd only seen fake guns in movies and stuff. I was a jumpy kid anyway. Of course, they laughed, made fun of me, said that I ran out of the room like a scared little bunny rabbit, and that just made me less popular than I already was.
But you had me.
I did. You're the only one who's stuck by me since '76.
Ah, so is that how you became chem-riddled partners in crime?
No, that's how we became chem-riddled boyfriends. Kind of.
Yeah, most people in the vault didn't really pay much attention to me either. I bonded with Rabbit one day in the chemistry lab while he was playing with some mixes and stuff. I needed help in chemistry anyway.
And with most subjects, I assume? Because of the intelligence? Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Some things clicked, some things didn't. But while Rabbit was tutoring me,
And making some less than legal chems by Vault-Tec standards.
we got to talking about feeling like outcasts and high expectations from our parents, and one thing led to another.
And...
Bryce Sanders walked in.
Oh. Well, that's not exciting. Did he say anything?
About the chems we were making, yeah. Oh, he didn't care about what was going on with us, but he said he could smell the chems down the hall, so he stopped in.
Yeah, he was actually really cool about the whole thing. He just let us off with a warning.
Aw, he's just a big softy under all that soldier stuff.
Oh, please let me be there to hear you say that to him.
Anyway,
Don't anyway me.
we kind of had our little crush relationship thing for a bit. And after a while, we just became really good friends.
Oh, that's sweet. Now let's skip to the part about me.
We're almost there. We've got to meet Xander first. So, Reclamation Day. I had plans to go out with Tim and Trixie. And we all know how Vault-Tec lied to us about how we would be leaving the vault. Well, when I got out to the surface, I saw some little robots or something skittering around at the bottom of the stairs, so I just started running and dodging away from them the other way.
I walked right up to them. I thought they were guides from Vault-Tec.
Of course you did.
Well, I didn't see anyone else.
Oh, I did. I saw Trixie flirting with Eddie Brooks. I hid until they were out of sight, but we were a good distance from the vault, so I just figured I'd run until I couldn't anymore. I ended up finding myself in an old abandoned bunker or vault project or something. I ran around, grabbed all the resources I could, ducked in there to start putting together a home of some sort. Anytime it seemed quiet, I'd run out, grab more resources, head back home. And eventually, I managed to piece together a pretty good and comfy clinic of my own.
I guess I'll ask, what about you, Tim? Where did you go once you turned back up at the doors of the vault?
I found myself in the glorious aura of the Mothman, clad in violet dust and the aura of the moon.
So, Rabbit, just how nice was this clinic?
Oh, come on, I'll let Tim tell his story first.
Fine. I will admit that I'm intrigued about how the transformation from Vault Dennison to this came about.
Like I said, I was blessed by the appearance of his radiance when I was walking one night up by the Landview Lighthouse. It was one of the points of interest someone wrote about in the Pioneer Scout handbook we used to read. I thought a lighthouse would be as good a place as any to go find people, and when I got there, I found a bunch of them. I wasn't sure what they were doing, but they all had these neat robes and outfits. When I went to ask someone near the lighthouse about what they were doing, that's when it happened. The Mothman landed right in front of me, wings aflutter. His brilliant compound eyes stared into my soul, and my soul answered.
You were high on moth dust.
And finding purpose in my life, I was meant to spread his word throughout the land of Appalachia. Why else would the universe separate me from my fellow vault dwellers?
His vault tech is terrible? But that is how you met up with Bryce, right? You were trying to print these things?
Oh, right! I was in Charleston because I had heard they had working printers there. I didn't realize how many Scorched would be there, though. I found the printers, but when I tried to get them working, they all started making noise. And so did the Scorched. I shot a couple of them, but there were too many, so I ran. And that's when Bryce came to my rescue, guns a-blazing. And then there were still too many, so we ran.
See, that's something to run from.
Oh, shut up.
After we were safe, I just walked around handing out pamphlets that I had to make by hand, thank you, until I ran into you and Xander. I remember Xander being so scared.
In his defense, he had pretty recently almost been carved up by the bad kind of cultists, which I rescued him from. Thank you very much, Kit. What do you have to say about that?
First time for everything.
Well, I'm just glad you both came to the lighthouse that night so we could iron out the misunderstandings. It was nice catching up with you, too.
So we're just going to gloss over my entire origin story.
I don't think Tim's finished yet.
You wouldn't know a good story if it hit you in the face.
Oh, no, that's pretty much it.
Wow.
You won an entire deathmatch diathlon against a bunch of Scorched. That's kind of a big deal.
Did I?
And judged a culinary contest that nearly turned Xander inside out.
Really?
Okay, then. So, which part of your origin do you want me to tell first? The part where me and Xander almost got killed by raiders, or the part where you came to life when I slammed you against the wall a bunch of times?
I want to believe this newfound sarcasm of yours is something you've learned from listening to me. Besides, I can tell my own story. Thank you very much. It was a gorgeous day when
I'm going to once again pop the bubble of showmanship right there.
Fine. After you had met Xander, that woman, you know the one, the badass woman I'm going to go on a spree with, along with that nice bartender from the vault, Erin.
Oh, Belle, yep. And Erin.
Yes, Erin. She seemed very unimpressed by me, which was her only flaw in judgment ever, I assume. But she asked Xander why the Pip Boys couldn't communicate or share information. Rather archaic, and he went into a nerd frenzy and tinkered around with me. This slamming me against a wall a bunch of times you mentioned jostled something into place. And thank goodness it did! Without my sharp wit to protect you, those raiders would have torn you apart like the little soft bunny you...
And that was why I told him that I wanted to keep you like you were. He saved us that day.
Yes, I did, didn't I? Strangely enough, you started talking to me less once I actually could respond. And before you say anything, yes, I know. You got friends. Congratulations.
Well, I'm proud of you, Lucas.
Well, thank you. And hey, we talk more now. It just took some getting used to. And now you're like one of the team.
Oh. And what a team it is.
So, what I don't understand is, who are you? Where do you come from?
What do you mean?
Well, you think, right? you talked back, and Rabbit told me all those voices that came out of you before were different, so someone must have recorded them.
There are mysteries upon enigmas upon conundrums in this universe, Timothy.
That is an unsatisfying answer.
You're not a satisfying answer. I thought it would be more interesting to you than saying I don't know. Clearly, I was wrong. Though I will admit, I am curious about that myself. I do seem to be one of a kind.
And truthfully, I think we could only handle one at a time anyway.
You flatterer. That's enough about me for now. This one became a lapiditer and missionary. What did you do after you ran off into the wilderness? Oh, brave Sir Knight Rabbit.
Well, I was angry and upset about how the whole Reclamation Day event happened. I was scared because none of what I saw out here looked like the old Pioneer Scout handbook for the most part. Before I had set up my super secret nobody knows about it clinic, I had trouble finding caps. A few days out, I was looking for a vantage point to see what all was out there, and I stumbled into one of Belle's outposts. I think she was actually more impressed that I didn't stumble into it, to be honest, because I avoided all of the traps that she'd set up. I think she felt bad for me, so she gave me a couple of small jobs to do, and believe it or not, I was actually really good at doing odd jobs. It helped me explore a little, which is how I found Lucky Hole Mine.
I still hate it's called that.
Hey, I didn't name it. I like the name, I didn't name it. Okay, let's see. So I did jobs for Belle, saved Xander from evil cultists. Then I just kind of helped him get his footing out here like Belle did for me. One of our jobs brought us out to Camden Park, which was the first time I saw Trixie since the vault, and I was glad she was safe, but seeing her with Eddie Brooks, and then being on the same job that we were, and him challenging Xander to find the bobblehead we were looking for and putting him in danger? At least Trixie said she saw I had gotten some more courage since the vault. She didn't realize how much I had changed, I guess. Of course, that was also when Eddie died.
Wait, Xander killed him?
No, he fell off the top of the Widowmaker. It was a complete accident. But it did remind me that I realized something when Xander and I met. He hadn't died. And he didn't know that death was not so permanent for us.
And you didn't explain that to him.
I didn't know how. I guess I kind of hoped he wouldn't have to find out. I feel awful about it now, but I tried to explain that it was okay that Eddie had died.
And you weren't worried he would think you were a sociopath?
Look, I just cared too much to tell him. I was looking for the right time, and I just wanted to protect him. What, no jokes about how he got shot by Eddie and found out anyway?
Even I know when a moment is too vulnerable for that. Give me some credit.
Well, after Xander got shot, or after Eddie shot him, Eddie came out to gloat about it and steal his stuff. I don't think I've ever seen red the way I did that night. I wanted to shoot him, but my mind wasn't processing everything until my Pip-Boy, you, Kit, went off and showed me that he was wanted.
I still can't believe that 5 caps was your tipping point.
5 caps wasn't my tipping point. There was just something about poetic justice and realizing that being nice and avoiding obstacles wasn't going to achieve anything. Not with people like Eddie around. So I did it.
Wait, and that was when I found you at Aaron's bar all depressed and full of moonshine, and then reminded you that we respawn?
Yeah, that would be how that played out. All right. Before this gets too long-winded, I've pretty much hung around with Xander since. I met his friend Gina and her friend Archie. I slowly moved myself into a house above ground. Now I spend my time roaming around or talking cryptids with Robin in this one.
Oh, Robin's great! She told me about the Ohio Grassman the other day.
Ooh, what about him?
Boys, please.
Right.
Sorry.
I guess that's about it. I got addicted to Nuka-Cola for a while when Tim won the diathlon.
And protected your crush, Zach.
And stopped Eddie from killing Xander again. Had a really screwed up Halloween.
Oh, and then you got taken by Eddie and those soldier guys.
Yep. Can't wait to relive that story.
At least it's never boring, is it?
Hey, I'm Gina, or Georgina Alexis Rhodes. I was born in Vault 76, and I lived there for 24 years.
I'm surprised that you're just throwing it out there. Don't most young women like to hide there?
I'm not most young women.
Isn't that the truth?
Anyway, my life in the vault wasn't so bad. I had to endure all of the same Vault Tech approved activities that everyone else did. Had to take my GOAT exam, learned how to interact with each other, and all of the other things that a nice little society was supposed to do.
Did they have any way at all of preparing you for what life would be like out here in Appalachia?
Not really. Or at least they pretended to convey what it'd be like. We knew there'd be pockets of radiation and a lot of devastation, but they didn't prepare us for rampaging, malfunctioning robots, scorched, or anything like that. I doubt they had any way of really knowing about them. But back to business. When I was young, I met Xander Nash and Bryce Sanders. I liked them. Xander was nice, pretty easy to get along with, and after a while, he started helping me fix things. Bryce was a pretty upstanding guy, sometimes to a fault, but he tended to stick up for us when Xander and I couldn't.
Was Master Nash just as bad at bartering as he is now?
Oh, yes. I once caught him trying to trade a really good condition Grognak the Barbarian comic for something that wasn't nearly as valuable. I put a stop to that right away.
That figures.
As we grew up, there were times when Xander and Bryce would get into heated arguments. I'd usually have to step in to stop them. It got really bad for a little while after Bryce's dad died.
Oh dear. I didn't realize that
He doesn't really talk about it much, unless it just naturally comes up. For a while, Bryce became distant, didn't really talk to anyone. The more anyone tried to push, the more he pushed back. He wound up giving Xander a bloody nose once. He apologized, but yeah.
So, why don't we talk about Reclamation Day?
Good idea. Xander, Bryce, and I had a plan for what we'd do after we left the vault, but I'm pretty sure he's already told you all about that. Suffice it to say, that didn't end up happening. At the pre-Reclamation Day party, I tried to make as much money as I could, selling various snacks that hadn't been chosen for the party. But after a couple of drinks, I couldn't stay awake any longer.
Did somebody spike the punch, Mistress Gina?
They must have, because it seemed to affect everyone. Once I woke up, so many people had already left, and the robots who remained told me that everyone had to leave alone. It sucked. I tried to argue that it would be better and safer and more productive to leave in groups, but they said that was against protocol. Or something.
Did you manage to run into anyone you knew after leaving?
Not really. It took a while before I even ran into people I didn't care to talk to. But it wasn't long before I journeyed to Bolton Greens and found you.
That's right. You did appear not long after I started seeing Vault Dwellers showing up. Though you did find me in a rather embarrassing state.
You had been pummeled, beaten, and almost torn apart by a pack of rampaging Scorched.
Well, I wouldn't put it that way.
It's the truth.
Okay, fine, it's the truth, but I still wouldn't put it that way. But you repaired me.
That's right. And then we became business partners, and...
I'd say we became more than business partners.
friends.
Yes, that.
Not long after that, we began scavenging and salvaging. At first, I had been more cautious about going into areas that were a bit more dangerous, but after we teamed up, I felt a bit more secure.
I mean, I'm not much of a fighter, but...
But you've still helped me out of a few jams.
But the funny thing is that as I look back on it, there seems to be a weird glitch in my memory.
Oh, I'm sure it's nothing. You were just recently rebuilt, after all.
No, it's like one day we were about to go into the cranberry bog, and then suddenly we were in Sutton, and a couple of weeks had passed.
Huh. That's weird. I thought when Xander and I repaired you at that bot stop, it would have fixed some of those issues. Some of the hazier stuff, I mean.
I suppose it might, in the long run, but I'm not sure. This part seems to simply be missing.
Huh. I'm not sure why that would happen.
I'm sure it's nothing.
But we eventually met Rabbit for the first time outside of the White Spring Station, and that's where we ran into Xander.
That's right. You were trying to overcharge Master Rabbit for some military-grade dust.
It's worth 22 caps.
It apparently wasn't before you realized that he was with Master Nash.
Quiet, you. But it was good to catch up with Xander and meet his new friend. After he told us that he was still looking to set up his workshop, that made me happy, and made me want to work even harder to start a successful business of our own.
Unfortunately, that didn't go over so well.
Yeah. But still, before that, we journeyed to Arctos Pharma to see what we could find there.
We honestly found a lot there. Before I was shot.
Yeah. And I still wonder about those weird animal control medicine boxes and those cages.
I'm sure we'll go back there and investigate them further now that we've got more friends to help us.
Right. But back to the store. We would have had more stuff to start with had Patricia Mitchell...
Mistress Trixie.
That's right. Trixie hadn't shown up with her asshole boyfriend Eddie to steal a bunch of the stuff we had procured at Arctos.
You're going to carry that with you forever, aren't you?
Yes.
Very well then.
But anyway, that pissed me off. But we still got the store opened up, which ultimately led us to meeting up with Bryce. That was nice. Found out he was considering joining the Responders once they got up and running, and it was good to see that he was still pursuing his own goals.
Around that time, people did seem to start finding their footing, I suppose. I do remember that we had some difficulty making ends meet at first, and for a while. It wasn't until we were approached about purchasing tickets for Chad Johnson's, diathlon that we...
Gross. I don't want to think about that. That turned out so badly.
I know. I can't believe he extorted us like that.
I can. But anyway, that's when we finally approached Xander about teaming up, helping him with the administration of his workshop.
That's correct. That was probably the smartest decision he's ever made.
Well, he's not exactly stupid. He just has bad business sense.
Okay, it was the smartest business decision he's ever made.
Right. But for a while, things were going great. Still are, really.
And then he insulted my cooking.
He didn't insult your cooking. He said that rabbits was better than...
That is insulting my cooking.
All right. You might be right, though, since you put a Braxo in...
We're moving on. Not long after that, we all decided to go to Robco Industries, which was a rather harrowing experience.
Yeah, it was. I wanted to throw that old vault janitor Pete into a pool of radioactive sludge after he shot you.
Well, the next thing I remember after that uncouth cur shot me was waking up at a bot stop. So I have you to thank for that. You and Master Nash.
Yeah, I'm just glad that it worked. How are you doing, by the way?
I'm adjusting. My memory drives still seem to be going through random repair cycles, but it's been a process. Everything after Bolton Greens is still fine, but the stuff before is still hazy. but slightly less so, if that makes sense.
Maybe it'll come back to you.
Maybe so. But even if it doesn't, I'm happy.
That makes me happy. Things have been crazy, sometimes baffling, and oftentimes infuriating, but I'm getting used to it. We're making it work.
And that's what matters. That and not being eaten by cannibals at a bed and breakfast.
I'm so glad we left before anything like that happened to us.
They wouldn't have eaten me. I hope.
They'd have broken their teeth.
Hello, I'm Bryce Chase Sanders, and
I'm Robin Hardy.
hey, I was talking. It's rude to interrupt.
Okay, you can go first.
Thank you. So, as I was saying, I'm Bryce Chase Sanders. I'm 24 years old, and like many, I was born in Vault 76.
Oh, is it my turn now?
I figured we'd take turns telling them a little bit about ourselves.
But wouldn't that ruin the flow?
Yeah, I guess. So, life in the Vault was pretty good by most accounts. I learned a lot from the programs that Vault-Tec had in place and from what they taught us in classes. I also learned a lot from my father, and then from Nash and Gina's parents.
Wait, what about your...
My mom passed away when I was little, so it was pretty much just me and my father for most of my life.
Oh, wow. I knew about your dad, but... Oh, I'm sorry, Bryce.
Thanks, it's okay. Really. But yeah, when I was young, my father ran a pretty strict household. He was a major in the U.S. Army before the bombs fell, and it was his military service that had gained him and my mother entry into the Vault. After my mother died, he raised me the best way he knew how. He wanted me to be strong, dependable, and have a...
Great posterior.
A strong sense of justice. I trained hard, went to target practice and all that.
Weren't you, Xander, and Gina kind of a... thing? Back in the Vault? A throuple, if you will?
Not a thing. But we were friends. We were close. Nash was the youngest, and though he was smart, he was a bit quiet and somewhat timid. Not scared, or weak, mind you, but he wasn't a social butterfly either. But there were times where he did have a temper.
Wait, really? Xander? I mean, I saw you go off on him once, but
Not my finest moment, but yeah. We sometimes got like that. Most of the time, simple disagreements de-escalated naturally, but there were a few times where we came to blows.
Wow! I mean, I'd pay to see.
Anyway, Gina was the more talkative one of our group, and she was pretty good at negotiating and even mediation. She broke up several of our arguments. Still, I tried to look out for them. Oh, there was this one time when a guy was harassing Gina and just wouldn't leave her alone. She tried to get him to stop, but he wouldn't. The second he laid his hands on her, though,
You kicked his ass!
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I was gonna... Anyway...
I'm sorry. You wanted to announce that.
It's okay. But yeah, I kicked his ass. He never bothered Gina again. The adults admonished me for resorting to violence, but I could tell that Security Chief Vince and my father thought I did the right thing. My father more so. A short time later, Chief Vince approached me about joining the junior security team, which made my father proud. I also told him about what I had planned for after we left the Vault, about how I wanted to join the Army if it still existed. It wasn't too long after that he had his heart attack.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But it really isn't. I mean, in there, he...
It's okay.
But if he was out here, he...
Stop it.
Okay.
Sorry. Why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself? I think most of them already know about what happened on Reclamation Day at this point, so maybe some of the vault and after?
Okay. Okay. I'm Robin Madison Hardy, a 26-year-old cryptozoologist and renowned adventurer.
You're 26? You were born on the surface?
Yeah. But I mean, I don't remember any of it because I was just a little bundle of...
Screaming baby?
Yeah. And like you, I was subjected to the standard Vault-Tec mind...
Please don't call it mind control. That's wildly conspiratorial.
Okay, fine. The standard Vault-Tec classes and activities designed to make us fall in line with their views of what makes a perfect society. Is that better?
Not really, no.
Regardless, I participated. Well, most of the time. I mean, I only got sent to the overseer, 1, 2, 3, 5.
That is an unsettling amount of counting.
9.5. Look, I didn't like the classes, okay? But I did meet some interesting people in there once in a while.
Well, that's right. You never really told me about life back in the vault outside of you learning about the myths and legends of Appalachia.
I was a certified Vault 76 cryptozoologist.
You made that up.
Someone had to! But yeah, I didn't really hang out with many people in the vault because not too many people were interested in things like cryptids and their mating rituals.
Yeah, for good reason.
Hey, I tried to start a cryptid club once, but only had a handful of attendees and we only convened once. Most of them were either not serious about it or they were already on a crazy amount of chems.
I still don't know where most people got their hands on some of the chems they were passing around.
Well, I mean, some people knew how to synthesize them. There was a chem lab. Odds are some of the adults who entered the vault already knew how to make them and did. Maybe taught others. Chems never change.
Huh. That's honestly pretty good deductive reasoning there.
Well, my dad knew a guy.
Oh, so it was just applied knowledge.
But anyway, back to what I was saying. We didn't keep the cryptid club open after the initial meeting. That said, there was enough reading material in the vault for me to learn something about them, and some of the adults were kind enough to tell me some stories from before they were interred.
Please don't call it interred.
Look, we were all sealed in an underground box. That's about as interred as we could get.
Okay.
But I knew once I got out, I wanted to learn if it was all true. And we have! Oh, you've been a big help, Bryce. Oh, but now that I've shared a bit, it's time for you to continue.
Oh, right. Well, after leaving the vault, my training really came in handy. I wanted to find Gina and Nash, but for some reason I just never did. The transponders showing up on our Pip-Boys were just ridiculous and uninformative. Names like Trash Panda or General Penis with a 1 where the letter I should be.
General Penis. I mean, yeah, some of those are weird and kind of dumb.
Yours is Crazy Cryptid Lady is one single word, so I don't think you have room to talk.
Okay, whatever, Rescue Ranger.
I mean, at least both of ours are appropriate. I mostly ignored transponder names until I ran into someone I knew or someone I wanted to keep an eye on or totally avoid.
Yeah, they're useful for that at least.
I spent some time exploring the region and setting up my camp in strategic spots near places with a good stock of supplies or near relatively clean water. I'm not a great builder, but I got by.
Most of my camps have been the essentials.
Likewise. Yeah, likewise.
Right? Like can chimes, punji boards, turrets, the occasional agua statue.
I thought you meant things like a bed or an outhouse and a place to cook.
Ew, why?
Never mind. I remember being attacked by some vault dwellers a few times, but I managed to subdue most of them. I ran when and if I needed to.
I was killed by a vault dweller once. That's how I first landed in the atomic shop.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, things were really bad for a while there. I don't remember a lot of it, but
Okay, but how did you first die?
Oh, super mutants. They were tough. Too tough.
Oof, shit. Yeah, they are. What did you think of the atomic shop? I think it's really neat. And creepy.
Yeah, you would. I can't stand it. It's like a nightmare. I really hope that's not the true afterlife and that my mother and father aren't.
Oh, yeah, don't go there, Chief. I'm sure they aren't. That place feels more like a weird limbo or something.
Right. But back to business. I eventually ran into someone I did recognize a bit more. Tim Harold.
Oh, Tim! What was he doing?
Almost getting torn apart by Scorched in Charleston.
Good old Tim.
Right? He was looking for a printer to create some Mothman pamphlets and, yeah. That was just a big ordeal over something so stupid.
He tries his best.
Does he, though? But not long after that, I ran into Gina and met her friend Archie.
Oh, Archie's great. And Gina, too.
I wish he would stop calling me Master Bryce and just call me Bryce.
Well, I think it's funny.
I think he does it on purpose.
Oh, I know he does. Master Bryce.
I met you right after, and we had our first big adventure hunting those snallygasters.
Right! Oh, at Toxic Larry's! Oh, good times.
I never did get the stench of that rotting meat out of my clothes. I had to burn that outfit.
But that was the start of our amazing partnership.
I guess so.
Hey, it's a partnership. I helped you learn more about the weird stuff hurting people, and you got to help by neutralizing some of them. Partnership. The helping. The back scratching.
True. Even though it always feels like we never make any real headway.
Yeah, it's like the cryptids and other dangerous creatures just keep appearing again. And again.
Right. But you're also right that we do have a pretty good thing going. And it's especially useful now that I'm with the responders.
I remember you truly announcing your decision to seek out their leader after that incident at Top of the World.
Oh, yeah, fuck. Chad Johnson's awful perk card scam and that terrible event that he and his goon squad rigged up.
You've got to admit, though, it was pretty well crafted considering the venue and what we've got available.
If you say so. I was just so angry at Nash for not walking away when he had the chance.
Yeah, I know. At the time, I was thrown off by it, but you did have the right to be pissed since you tried to convince him to leave. Maybe next time, though, practice a little bit more self-restraint and don't punch the wall.
Yeah. But yeah. After that, I sought out Commander Connor Johns of the 5-0 and spent some time going through their training.
And I explored more of Appalachia to learn more about its cryptid history.
Which ultimately led us to where we are now with our, partnership.
And I'm totally going to take you to Grafton to find the Grafton monster. Ooh, the Wendigo Cave. Ooh, wherever we can find an Agua nest and...
One dangerous monster at a time, please.
You're no fun.
Oh, yes, I am.
Oh, whatever you say, Chief.
How did we get here?
Somebody spiked a punch on Reclamation Day, and we got shoved out into the world. I felt like a newborn baby out there, smooth ass and everything. And then I met you, Trix, and I said, you know what? Maybe being a smooth ass baby is pretty okay.
It was way different than we expected it to be. Like, we thought it would be a little bit of a wasteland, but it was a lot more than that.
But that's why we hooked up, right, babe?
It was.
That and you knew those twerps, Rabbit and what's his name?
Tim.
Yeah, right. You knew they weren't going to keep you safe, so you teamed up with me. Eddie Griffin Brooks, Trailblazer.
Some parts of that are true. Wait, your middle name is Griffin? I don't think I ever knew that.
Yeah, it was my grandfather's name. He was some big business CEO or something. What? Like yours is so poignant?
It genuinely astonishes me when you use words like that, but then misspell trespassing with 2 Z's somehow. Mine's Annabelle. Oh, I was named after my grandma too! Oh, it's so cute. We were meant to be.
Patricia Annabelle Mitchell? That is a mouthful.
You couldn't just be cute for 2 seconds, could you?
Oh, I am cute. That's another reason you hooked up with me.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay, look. I was friends with a lot of people in the vault. Rabbit and Tim included. And yes, I got close to them because I felt bad. Like, I didn't make friends with them out of pity or anything, but Rabbit was so quiet and Tim was just this awkward guy who just loved everything he experienced. They didn't have many friends in there. In fact, one of them was harassed on a semi-consistent basis by a group of assholes led by one Mr. Edward Brooks.
Edward? Oh, jeez. Never use that name again. And hey, some of them were way worse than me. Come on, remember when Danny Miller superglued Lukewarm to his chair in history class? Ha! Poor nerd had to get a whole new vault suit after that, little dork.
Oh, I heard all about it. I heard about a lot of those little pranks you and the boys used to play on plenty of kids in the vault.
What else was there to do? We were all stuck in there, and we were already the best and the brightest, remember? Some of us were gonna rise to the top a little more naturally than others.
And strangely, that mindset is how I knew teaming up with you, when I saw you at the lumber mill without those jerks, was a good idea.
Yeah, and they would have been dead weight.
Oh, you all would have shot each other immediately.
Hey, not immediately. Besides that, I kept us in caps pretty well, finding stuff and selling it, picking up jobs from people. But only if they paid, of course.
Or if we took it from them, like when we ran into Gina Rhodes.
Aw, that was great! You're distracting her while I picked the lock on her pack. That dumb robot couldn't even catch me.
First of all, you can learn something from Archie about being a gentleman, so don't you talk about him that way. Second, did you ever read that issue of Tumblers today that we got from that stash?
Nah, I sold it to a guy for 5 caps.
Of course you did. Just glad I didn't give you that holotape with Lucas's.
Oh, like I give a shit about any tape that talks about Bunny Boy.
You know, you're right. Just a stupid holotape. Oh, and then we met that guy. What was his name?
Oh, yeah, the one that told us to go talk to that ghoul about the bubblehead.
Again, it's bobblehead. It's bobblehead, honey.
The head looks like a bubble. Bubblehead. Duh.
Then we ended up in Cannon Park. Then you had a pissing contest with Rabbit's friend Xander.
Aw, man. You were so pretty when you used that sniper rifle.
Well, I am good at what I do. But then you died.
Ah, whatever. I gave it back to him.
You followed them to a party and shot Xander from a tree.
Revenge comes when you least expect it. Huh?
And then Rabbit shot you.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either.
You know, I think you're underestimating him. He did tackle you during the diathon to save Xander, which was kind of a sweet gesture. Hey, why don't you do more things like that?
You hid in the shade the whole time while me and that Xander Snatch guy were almost ripped to shreds by Scorched.
How many times do I have to say that the sun was bothering me? And hey, Xander saved us from those cannibals at the bed and breakfast.
Yeah, I know. You're right. They're tougher than they look. But that's why this latest job is so perfect.
Oh, this little job you picked up as part of the... what was it? The Hellcats? You're gonna be king of the Hellcats, or something?
Yes, Trix, the Hellcats. And this job will have us rolling in all the caps we could want.
Yeah, you still haven't told me how this job pertains to Rabbit.
Hey, a guy's allowed his secrets, okay? Like you tell me everything. You wouldn't have even known about it involving that twerp if you hadn't snuck around behind me.
not making things any better here, babe.
Just know that what I'm doing for us. If it helps me get a little bit of a name in certain circles and I could get a little revenge on a good old rabbit in the meantime, all the better.
Well, I guess we'll see, won't we?
Hey, honey, sweetie doll, girl of my dreams, you can trust me as far as you could toss those bottle caps. And trust me, with the right weapon, and I can make it for you, you can toss those way over the hill.